Hello, everybody. Welcome to How I Made All Mine. I've always wanted to do this, share how I write and produce and mix and master all my stuff, and this is the way I'd like to do it, I guess. So, welcome. First song that I will dissect with everybody is All Mine. This one came out in February. It came out in February. Nope, it came out in March. Yeah, this song came out in March. It's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet. If you haven't listened, go listen to it because it's a great song. But we're gonna dissect it all right now. So taking a look. This is our beautiful project. This is everything said and done, all nice and good. I really keep things organized, except tambourines, I guess. I don't keep organized. I think those were supposed to be in the drums. But we're going to start out with the intro right up top. All I did with the intro is just took the clip that was at the very beginning of the song, took out the drums, and then slowed them nice and down. I think I slowed them down 7 or 8 steps, so quite a few, and I had it slowly fade in, and it just sounds magical, you know. I don't think there's anything in this that I was like, this isn't dreamy. Like this, such a dreamy song. My personal favorite at the moment. That's why I'm doing it first. But yeah, so let's take a look at the guitars. Quite a few of them, which is always fun. I started out with this guitar lead. I was scrolling through TikTok and the band Cigarettes After Sex, somebody made a reel to it, and I was like, you know, I'd really like to make a dreamy song like this one, but I don't. It's not that I don't know how to do it, it's that I just haven't done it yet. I should do that. And then I sat there for like 3 minutes and started brainstorming how exactly I would go about making a song like that, and was one of like 6 of the lines I came up with. I actually didn't even like this one the best. I have a couple of unreleased songs that have the other ones in them that probably won't ever come out. But this was one of them. And I think when I'm personally making music, having mistakes that I make in the music is one of the most magical things, because I'm a human, I make mistakes, and my guitar takes are never going to be perfect. My anything takes are never going to be perfect. So I like to just really dial in and say, okay, cool, let's use this one. Even though it's not perfect. You can hear right here. Hear that little bling? That's me messing up just a tiny bit. But I loved it. I didn't think it was a bad thing necessarily. I was like, oh, we're going to keep it in. So yeah, we just kept it in, and here we are. It made it into the song. So yeah, I got that out a bunch. I looped it quite a few times. All the choruses and the intro have that nice little take in there. And then I also doubled it an octave down. And it feels so rich when it's the two of them together. And especially later on in the song, this next guitar part is actually doubles. No, sorry, thirds. Real. Just beautiful. And then I also octave down. And again, you can hear the mistakes I make when I solo out the tracks. Like right there. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be there. And I think that's one of the best parts about this whole thing. So yeah, those were the main guitar parts. I also had 2 rhythms, guitar rhythm 1 and 2. This is like the main one that you hear. And then this is just a little bit higher of a take in a different spot. I panned those pretty hard, left and right, as you can see right here. Yeah, I panned those pretty hard left and right just because that's what you do. And just about all of my guitar takes are pretty panned. I like to keep things spread out. I like to hear a song in the wholeness, the joy, you know. I like to hear all of it. So everything's pretty spread out. So yeah, those are the guitars, and all together, it sounds quite immaculate, I gotta say. It's like a symphony of guitars, especially when the thirds come in. I like to think like I'm a composer more than I am like a musician. I want to create like this grand old thing, you know? And this was my grand old thing. This little section. It's just breathtaking. Okay, next up, bass. I love the bass. I did 2 different bass takes. And I didn't put them into one because I had some very minor settings different between them that I'm not going to get into because I'm a little too nerdy. But for the chorus and the intro, so yeah, I just did that, played it a couple of times, and I don't mean to pat my own back, but I'm a pretty great bass player. I didn't make any mistakes the first time. This is the first take that I did. And I like sat there and I was like, yeah, okay. And that was the bass part. I put that in a few different times. Looped it a couple of times. Blended everything together. Made it all nice and neat. During the verses, I wasn't as cool with it. And I just decided on this really simple line because I knew the verses would be pretty short. I didn't really think this song would last more than 3 minutes. So I kept the verses nice and short and sweet and very clean with the bass part. Just root notes. That's all I really needed. You know, that does it for me. That's beautiful. That's great. So yeah, that's what I did there. The bass isn't really anything too spectacular in this song. It's a great line, but wasn't too much thought behind it. As far as synthesizers go, I only had 2, which is a little unlike me. I like synthesizers. This song and my other song, Fine, are the 2 that just really didn't have very many synths. And now that I've gotten a new synth in my studio, the new song that comes out next Friday, July 26th, 2024. I don't know who's watching this and when, but when that song comes out, you'll be like, ah, yes, I hear some things. That's the new synthesizer. Anyways, I just wanted to keep it chill pad-wise. It was just this one. Sorry. It was just this one. And then I was like, I need to spice it up a bit. I want to feel like there are some swells and all that stuff. So I added this second one in. And that seemed to do the trick pretty well. Both of them together again, sound pretty magical. That's kind of what I decided with the synthesizers. I thought maybe less is more in this circumstance. Okay, let's look at the drums now. Drums, nice and beautiful in all its glory. And I'm going to include the tambourines on the drums because tambourines are drums to me. These are live drums. I'm no stranger to selling my secrets out, putting them out in the world. I hired a dude off of Fiverr to play these drums. Yeah, and he did a great job, I gotta say. Check this out. Beautiful. I myself added a couple of little MIDI sections on the back end, just with like some snares for texture and consistency, and a couple of very, very thin rides at the very end, as well as a big old crash at the very end, because I feel like the room mics that he had didn't quite capture the crash that I had in mind, volume-wise, and I was a little bit lazy when I made this song. I was like, I'm not automating anything. There is very little automation in this song. At the time, I was doing a song a month, and looking back, I'm probably not going to do that anytime soon again, because it is a lot of work. But I did learn how to be way more efficient in that time, and I appreciate that. So thanks, One Song a Month Challenge. Okay, right here, the tambourines. So awesome. Very laid back into the mix. They are not sprung forward at all. Not doing anything special. This one is just every other snare. It's like a very reverbed tambourine that I decided to add in. And when it's, you know, tossed into everything, you'll hear it. It's really short and sweet. And it does the trick, you know? Yeah, so those are the drums. Let's move on to the last but not least part, the vocals. What? These are all of the vocals that I have. If you guys want to see my vocal chain, you can't. I'm just kidding. Here it is. Nice and beautiful. Melodyne, auto-tune. Always auto-tune, guys. Nobody's above auto-tune. That's a joke, by the way. Some people are. I'm not. I stink at singing. Some gain, a little bit of EQ. Compressed it a couple of times. De-essed, reverb, EQ, Fresh Air. Fresh Air and Melodyne are my two plugins. Fresh Air is free, by the way. Go download that. Melodyne is not. I paid top dollar for that. But I'm a big fan of using stock plugins for whatever I can. I don't have a lot of money. I'm a poor college student. Plus, Logic can do it. Why not? Let's roll. So yeah, this is the main vocal right here.
I know if we could stay right here, we'd talk for hours together.
A lot of people think, whenever I like send my mixes to people and like friends, I'm like, hey, like, what do you think I should change and fix and all that stuff, which I recommend everybody do. Every single time they say, I think you should lay off the auto-tune. And what do I say to that? Bro, I haven't even auto-tuned it yet. I think my voice is just very prone to sounding a little robotic-esque.
Hard to think what life was like before we came. Hard to think what...
I just sound like that. Even in live performances, I look at videos and I'm like, dang, dude. People are going to think I auto-tune. But yeah. During the choruses, I did the old split method is what I call it. One in the middle, two on the sides. This is not a trademark thing. Everybody does this, by the way. It's not just me. But
she's mine.
If I were to just like take out the front vocal and give you the two on the sides.
Mine. She's mine. Oh, mine.
Nothing super special. They're a little quiet, a little more reverb is on both of those than on the main vocal. But when they all work together,
she's mine, mine.
it's so great. It's great. Now, second verse, the very last part of the second verse, I decided to add in some nice little
I
backups.
know, but all I care about is that she's mine.
Sweet. And I also decided to "She's Mine" at the end of that verse, for no particular reason. I just thought it sounded good. It worked well. But yeah, on to the chorus. The whole chorus this time.
She's mine.
I guess I'll play the last part of that too. But with all of that,
All I care about is that she's mine.
it's a lot, and that was the goal. That was the main goal that I had in mind. Along with all three of these, I also decided to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more for some silly reason. And they're not super unique or anything. I just decided to add I think this is the high vocal.
She's mine.
Yeah, that's awesome. I couldn't hit the note an octave up, so I did it. I like tuned the whole song down quite a bit, and then did an octave up on that, and then tossed it back up there, and that's what that sounds like. There is no way that I would ever actually sing this high or like this in general. Like, it sounds very artificial because of all the pitching up I had to do, but along with everything else, it doesn't sound that bad. And I put it pretty far back, so it's more a texture than anything else.
Mine.
You can just barely hear it, and that was the goal. Mine. Just a little bit. Now, all of this down here, kind of like Back in Time, I used a lot of delays.
Mine.
To like do-do-do-do-do-do. That was the goal that I had. The two backup vocals that you just heard, the delays are stacked in such a manner that they're always alternating back and forth, just a little bit.
Mine.
Just barely. So it feels like very extra for some silly reason. And especially when everything comes back in, you can hear it just do its magic. One more time.
She's mine, mine.
It works, and it works pretty well. So yeah, these last two vocals were just a little sauce I wanted to have for the very last part.
Mine.
Some lower thirds. Mine. And I just wanted to put those in for a little bit of difference between the first half and the second half of the second chorus. I don't want to do the first chorus 2 more times at the end. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be rad. I love the build. It's got to build. So that's really what I did with that.
She's mine. She's mine. Oh, mine.
Those vocals really far in the back that go, oh, really accent everything. So yeah, that's everything parts-wise. It's a nice, beautiful project. This was one of my favorites to make. Holy smokes, it was so much fun. For everybody out there making music, if you want to make something like this, it's really not that difficult. It didn't take me very long. I've learned how to streamline my process pretty stinking quick because of doing 1 song a month for 6 months. And it's been awesome. It's been great. And if you really want to challenge yourself and get yourself to get some stuff out, maybe try doing that. It doesn't have to be a great song. You don't even have to put it out, but try just 1 song a month. I did it for 6 months, and it was pretty good. Would I do it again? I don't know. I really want to make great music, not just music, you know? So that's what I've been doing. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we'll have another soon. I'll probably just record one right after this too, since I'm here. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for listening to All Mine. Go stream the other music.